Hello everyone. So today we are continuing on training RL on open-end environment. So yesterday we tried to do it using the unslot notebooks, but the notebooks had some error. We tried to increase the GPU size also, but still it was not working. So we'll try with other notebooks before we try to fix it so that we can refer it to fix the other notebook also, or our main aim is actually just to do RL on the open-end environment. So yeah, before we start, this is the, okay, let's see. So this is Onslaught documentation. You want RL and GRPO. So those who don't know GRPO is Group Relative Policy Optimization. It is a method introduced by DeepSeek in their R1 paper where they released an open source R1 reasoning model. So, and in this GRPO, they actually remove a value network, thereby saving a huge amount of compute and also making the training stable compared to PPO. PPO is proximal policy optimization. So let's do Gemma 4 itself. Okay. Gemma 4 E2B. Okay, E2B should be a good model for us to work on this thing. But the problem would be that I don't think so. This would be using an open end kind of a scenario. So what we can do is we can try to do the training and everything and then try to sync it with our open end environment and see if we are able to do it with that. So main idea is to understand this part. So let's, without thinking, let's just execute the entire thing. Then we'll go through each step trying to understand it. So we'll also save this. So let's start. Okay. So in this particular notebook, we are trying to solve with Gemma 4. So just for reference, I got this notebook from the Unsloth documentation and Unsloth notebook. There are many useful notebooks here. Yeah, you can just go through it. We actually tried to do GRPO reasoning on a different model earlier, the GPD OSS 20B model, but it didn't work that well. It was giving error in collab, and we also tried to increase the GPU size in earlier live, and it still gave an error. So let's try to do this. Let's just execute it without thinking, and then we'll go through one by one. The reason why I'm doing it because it takes time for it to download and run the thing. So let's just So my aim for this is actually to take this notebook and try to use it on an open end environment so that I can RL fine tune on an open end environment. I can RL fine tune Gemma on an open end environment. Basically, that is my final goal. Hmm. Let's start. So it's executing, and now let's go through each. So this is the installation. I don't think so. So why Unsloth is so popular is because it helps you save VRAM and it's very efficient compared to if you are going to fine tune manually or use other libraries. It saves around 70% VRAM, and that is huge because these VRAM is for the GPUs, which is costly. It's like cost $5, $3 for every hour, and you have to have multiple GPUs. So if it saves 70% of that VRAM, your cost is reduced by 70%, right? So that's why it's really nice. So here we are just, I think, installing Torch, NumPy, Pillow, Unsloth, Zoo, Unsloth base. Yeah, that's it. They are installing from the Unsloth GitHub itself. Okay. So it requires a Hugging Face token to download the Unsloth weights. So I think this is where it's trying to download. Okay, so Tim is also used for Java for. Oh, nice. So what is Tim? Tim is actually created. It's very interesting. Tim is created by a single developer uh, who has created very efficient models, very efficient and good trained models. So his variants of models are actually good. Yeah, this is the person. Um, Not great. Yeah, this should be Ross Whiteman should be. Yeah. So Tim documentation. Yeah. So they are using Tim. Nice. So let's go through it. So what we are going to do is max length. In this we have set to 4096. We'll also bring out Gemma Force. Okay, let's also in the meantime just bring Gemma 4 E2B information so that I'll do it here and I'm searching. In the meantime, I just this is Unsloth Studio. I've not used it, but I think it makes it way easier to do fine tuning. But yeah, I'm not going to use this in this slide. I'll leave. So we are seeing what are the Gemma 4 models. Gemma 4 instruct models are E2B, IT, E4B. All of these are what we are going to use are Unsloth E4B, E2B instruction tuned model. Okay, so we have said fast vision model dot from pre-train model name max sequence length is 4096 LoRa rank 32. So the higher the LoRa rank, the smarter your model is. You can keep it in multiples of in 2 raised to power n whatever. So 32 should be smarter. So basically it increases the embedding at which you are say going to fine tune on it on the model. Load in 4-bit, false for 16-bit, it's fine, faster. I should have, this should, why is it not, okay, we'll try fast inference true later. This should also save you memory space in unslot because unslot uses a trick where it may uses VLLM stencil itself. Since it's false, it should use double the memory space, but still better than you doing directly fine tuning. Okay, so we have this fast fusion model. LoRa rack we have taken from above 32 it is target models. So we have the query projection that we are going to change, key projection, value projection, output projection, then gate projection, up projection, down projection. These are the common ones that usually are the target modules that you target for fine tuning. LoRa alpha into 2, this speeds up training. Okay. And random state, the seed is fixed here. You can use any seed for that, which is fine. This is for the initialization of your LoRa rack or the LoRa fine tune. Okay. See, that's why I executed it faster because it takes a lot of time for it to download. So let's go through what all it's downloading. Uh, so model safe tensor, the model weights. Okay, loading the model weights, config that it is going to use, processor config, the chat template that it actually follows on which it is pre-trained, tokenizer, basically how the words are converted into tokens that is understood by the gemma, and tokenizer.json. Fine. This is Sudoku game implementation is valid. So this is the Sudoku environment implementation that we have done. This is fine. So create a Sudoku game, difficulty 30, seed 42, initial puzzle, game.pretty. It's executing, that's why it's not saving. Okay. Now, so this is a, they have done Sudoku. What we actually want to do is want to do it in openenv. So I'll try to, let's just search if OpenSpiel has, there should be a Sudoku implementation or a Sudoku environment, OpenSpiel Sudoku, or we'll search for openenv Sudoku. Maybe OpenSpiel might not have openenv Sudoku. There is a OpenSpiel does not have Sudoku. So OpenSpiel is basically a gaming library or a gaming environment library created by DeepMind, which is used for exact for basically learning RL on these game environments. This is too much information. I can read it, but that's not, it's time too much. Why runtime disconnect? Oh, means yeah, collab might have this problem, right? Okay, if you're moving from tab to tab, it might disconnect the runtime. Okay. So you cannot spend too much time on other tabs. We'll try to do it. If it doesn't work, we'll move. But if it works, we'll just move it to modal because then will not have a runtime disconnect issue. And I don't want it also because it takes a huge amount of time for it to download the model and all. And I've not right now set up a drive or where it can save the model and use it from there. So let's go through the RL environment. Sunslaw, execute with time limit. Execute strategy is first make sure that the strategy is callable. Max moves 100, valid moves 0, track successful moves. It's actually very straightforward. It's basically this strategy is the one that is the important thing. So based on the strategy can be anything. Just place a random number, whatever. This is the board and this is the initial board. Okay, initial board and the present board. Interesting. And it just basically tells if it is done and if all of them are valid moves. Okay. So execute with time limit is basically an unsloth decorator method, which basically says that you fail it and give a negative reward if it does not execute within 10 seconds in this case, the function, whatever strategy you have. Okay. Now simple strategy board. Yeah, let's directly open it on Moodle and try it. So Moodle is very nice because it gives $30 of free credits per month to everyone. So you can use GPUs and just use it for free. Okay. So we were trying this open and one. This is giving error by default. We did not go into fixing it as of now. So we'll just go with this. Where is it? It was giving error in collab for some reason. I don't know. We did not go into fixing. So we did it till code execution, right? This is the part that I want to understand with you guys. So let's focus on this part actually. Let's first execute everything in the model. While it executes, so we'll take a. I think we'll just take a T4 itself. It should be enough. Let's keep a 4 system and let's keep a RAM of 62. I hope this should be fine for an E2. E2B is something that works on a mobile itself, so I think so. It should be fine. Save changes. Restart. Okay, the notebook restarted. We had a T4. Let's keep it 10 minutes. Let's keep it for 30 minutes so for now. Let's just run everything. I'm not sure if it even worked. It's grayed out for some reason. Fine, not now. I can use UV, but I tried using UV in this model environment, but it gave error for some reason. So I'm not trying to fix those errors for now. My main focus is only to understand RL on the RL and how to execute it. See, for some reason the UV one is not working. So let's just do pip install. Uh, let's read the cheat sheet. So Java for E2B has a small dense multi-model. It's basically a MOE, I think. E2B is 2 billion parameters and descriptive. 35 layers, hidden size 1/5 1536, intermediate size 6144, attention heads 8 attention heads, key value heads 1, KB shared layers 20, at dimension 2. Okay, there is some issue happening here, so let's just restart it. I'm not sure why it is getting stuck, so let's try with a collab image. If it still doesn't work, we'll just go with directly installing Unsloth. So, hmm, kernel itself stopped for some reason.
Playing from Amazon.
For some reason, it is not working. So we'll do Really, it won't. If it doesn't work well, what we'll do is the final thing that we can do is take a collab pro and try it. Means I don't think so. We need a collab pro. I will try with collab again normally. Uh, so yeah. This is running. Let's do it with okay. Use UV. Really want to use UV? Use UV. It's fine. Use it. Use UV if you want to use. Just do it. Run it. If it's it's an internet problem or something. Oh, I'm not sure why it's not working now. So let's try again. This time, okay, it will give error. We'll install manually. For some reason, it executed it, but it didn't install it. So we'll install pip install. We have install and right just will install based on this required. Not manual only. I do usually use UV for my local development, but not here because it's giving error for some reason. Maybe the environment in which the UV is installed is not the same as the kernel which is being executed. So that is why I don't want to use UV here. I don't want to debug it right now also. Maybe also let's just search for Gemma E2B Gemma 4 E2B model architecture. There's a good diagram. I'll just go. If 5.1 million income settings. It's a mixture of expert mode. Okay, finally it has started installing the weights. So it will take around 2 to 3 minutes. Let's wait. Okay, let's do one thing also. Okay, now let's execute the other code also. We'll see which one will send it. Okay. And then we'll go through it. Oh, it did install. Oh, it was very fast. Okay. Oh, acha. Okay, this is fine. Let's see if it is giving error. I don't want to waste my time in errors or anything. Okay, it is executing. Let's just. Oh, it might not have. Oh, it didn't have Hugging Face token, but still it loaded it, the weights. Where from did it load? Where did it take the secret from for getting the Hugging Face model? Let me check it. I tried to download its sloth library. It automatically loaded, downloaded, and without asking me the. Let's see how much is working. Then we'll go through the. No, why the error? Why? Let's see. So GPU error, something else. What's it? Much good. Not much good. We only installed Unsloth, right? We let's also install the other things that were present. For some reason it did not install. We had Unsloth. Did not directly install MergeKit. I could have installed MergeKit, but I wanted to see because the collab notebook must be tested by Daniel Hack. So it should be working. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I'll see what it is. The purpose of live is not to give you idea on how to actually solve it, but actually do live coding with you so that we can share methods and ways do faster iterations on these kinds of things. still gave an error because of merge kits. Oh no, this time it was a different. Let's try to ask ChatGPT if it can solve it. That is the problem with RL and LLM fine tuning because there are a lot of small errors that can creep in because you executed a cell twice or many reasons. Okay, so that's why it's very sensitive, and that's why these researchers and these infrastructure developers are paid so highly. Also, yeah. So what I can do is I'll try to restart the terminal. Okay, and then I'll try to execute only the code that I think should work. So this should be there. I don't want this should be there. Students law. Okay, then let's try this. This is the moment of truth. If it's error not working, we need to see. No, check Python module is not defined. Why? Okay, I think so it worked. So the problem was just restarting the kernel because I installed multiple sloth and all. Maybe that is the problem in the other collab also. So it was not directly working for me as I moved from collab to Moodle, and it might execute environment and kernel so slightly differently. So you might need to install the packages differently. So it worked in this one. Uh, oh, I'm not sure. Wait, I think it gave error here. Let's see. I'm not sure if it's kind of working. It's giving some errors because of the versions that are there. Oh, I'll try to re-implement these things properly. I feel like it is going to get stuck in this, but we'll see. Let's see if CPU cores and everything is on. So GPU memory is kind of being used. No, 10.4 right now. It's kind of being used around 10.4 GB. So we actually reserved 16 GB and 15.7 is being, so we should put more RAM also. Is I'm not sure if RAM is important. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, in the next experiment, no, just for the sake of doing it, we'll try to actually maximize everything and just run it to see how much RAM and everything is being used, and then we'll reduce the system CPU and RAM GPU to that level. So it's still running. I'll let it run. Okay, and we'll go through it once it is done. It's slightly weird for me because it is. So I think so. RAM is being a bottleneck here. I'm not sure 100%. Okay, let's first. Okay, so I think the notebook had some issues. So let's first make sure that the notebook itself was updated. So we'll just go through facts. Yeah. So I'm going to do two things. One, I'm going to keep, so I can see that the CPU is, CPU cores is still fine, I think. 4 cores is enough. GPU utilization is almost fully 35%, less. GPU memory is 10 GB, so I don't think so. I should increase the GPU memory part. Oh, it's finally, did it start? Oh, it started. Oh, it's actually started, so I don't have to change things. But I would do that thing in the next because it's saying that Onslaught had some issues. So let's upgrade both Transformer, Tim, and Onslaught as well. So let's go there, go to the top, change it. So the training is actually running now. I do feel like we should be going. We'll take a 5-10 minutes break and we'll come back. So the training is running now. It's working. Although there are some issues mentioned, so I'm not sure if the training would be like as efficient as it should be. We have added two code to the top. We can execute it, but we'll keep it for later if it gives a bug. We'll check if our Gemma 42B can actually solve a Sudoku or not and come back. Very interesting. I would love to read it. Okay, let's give a break of 10 minutes and we'll come. Timer 10 minutes. Okay, it started. Thank you.